Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I have the brand new LEGO Harry Potter Summer 2023 Weasleys Wizard Wheezes set to share with you guys. It is set number 76422, and honestly, at a first glance, it looks really cool, and I love the accuracy to the actual Weasleys Wizard Wheezes, as you guys can see in this side-by-side shot. Without further ado, let's get into the review and see what the set has to offer. First up, we're going to take a look at the minifigs, starting off with Romilda Vane. I love the head printing there. The torso printing is spot on. At the very back, we've got some more face printing, which looks really cute. I love that so much. Her legs are pretty plain, but in general, she looks like Romilda Vane, and it does the trick. Next up, we have a look at the Ginny Weasley minifigure. Now, in general, this figure is alright. Like, the only thing that is appealing to me on this minifigure is just the torso, because we have a brand new cardigan printing there on top of this light gray color. The headpiece is reused. Once again, hair is reused. Leg piece is pretty boring and bland there. But in general, having Ginny in this set, from the Half-Blood Prince specifically, is really well appreciated. So even though 75% of this minifigure is recycled, the torso there is pretty cool. So next up, we have a look at the Owl Post lady, and I love that head printing so much. She has some cute freckles there on her skin, and at the very back we have no face printing. Surprise, surprise. I should have known this because I built the set. Anyway, at the very back we have some nice printing there. The creases on the torso, accuracy wise, really awesome, and I just love getting some Owl Post representation, especially in a set like this, and especially because it is kind of niche and not really represented in the movies that much. So getting like this in a set like this is incredible in my opinion. This is like an anonymous Owl Post worker, but she's looking pretty awesome. So yeah. Next up, we have a look at Lavender Brown. Right off the bat, the torso is nice, but everything else about this minifigure is not very nice in my opinion, because every time I look at it, I see Rey from Star Wars in disguise. I think it's because the head printing is a very popular Star Wars Rey printing. So yeah, seeing it on a Harry Potter character is a little bit awkward if I do say so myself. And I mentioned this on the previous versions of Lavender that they've made in the past with the same issue. So yeah, she's holding a letter, which is okay. Again, the torso is what really stands out to me. Here is a back look at the torso with all the hearts there. Quite nice. And that's pretty much it for her. I have nothing else to say. I just don't like it. Next up, we have a look at Ronald Weasley, and look at that torso. We have a bunch of stripes on there, which looks pretty cool. More stripes on the back. I just would have liked to see some stripes on the sleeves there. I don't like the discontinuity. And in general, I mean, he looks like Ronald Weasley. He acts like Ronald Weasley. He is Ronald Weasley. Surprise! Next up, we have a look at Fred and George Weasley, and I absolutely love these minifigures so much. I believe they are the stars of the show here, so yeah, I just would have liked to see some printing on their suits there, on either side, on the arms specifically, and perhaps some on the legs just to continue the whole striped effect, but unfortunately that isn't there. At the very back though, we have some stripes. Again, the arms having stripe printing would have completed the entire look there, and of course the leg piece. As for the head printing, they each have their own unique face printing at the very front, and at the back you get yourself unique face printing again, so they can always change their facial expressions, which is always very fun in a set like this. Now that we've taken a look at the minifigs, it is time to take a look at the set itself and all the details that it has to offer. Now, right off the bat, we have a look at the set from the outside. Now, everything that has words on it or any sort of color, printing, or whatever is actually stickered, so buyer beware. Anyway, on this side, we have amazing usage of these rounded circular windows that I think worked so well in our favor here. Like, look at that. I love the architecture of this building and the continuity around it, and the fact that we have a gigantic Weasley twin just hanging out in this really cool, really fun fashion. Now, I said this before and I'll say it again, I love this one much more than the one that came in Diagon Alley, and having a funner, more cartoony version of the twins is actually far more movie accurate, if I do say so myself, and that sticker right there worked so well in our favor, and I love it so much. And of course, the top hat can move like so, hey, there's a bunny! Oh, not anymore! I guess you can still see it, but it's a really fun playability feature like that. And of course, the arm can also move because of the hinge, so that is very, very amusing. And we have these little Weasleys, Wizard Wheezes signs there, these little lanterns and everything like that. Doors that can open and close, obviously. And on this side, another door, and of course the potions right there sneaking out on this little heart-shaped tile. So if I were to take this off, actually I don't want to, but yeah. And of course we have a really fun sign feature here featuring 3 different signs: Sugar Plums, Magical Menendry, and Madame Malkin's, which looks awesome. And I love how it's hanging on this crooked fashion with the different signs just flopping over each other, so that's cool. And on this side, of course, we have the owl post build, which I think looks incredible. If I were to actually take it apart like this, it'll make the review much easier. So basically, you can take them both apart. Now you have the owl post house on its own, which is very fun just to take a look at. So we have an owl post sign right there, which is a sticker. We have the other owl post sign right there. We have this little post office box, who would have thought, and a door, which is actually blocked at the very front, which is funny in my opinion. Of course, these are all stickered, bunch of curtains, an owl because, surprise, it's an owl post house. So here's a look at one of the owls, which is obviously supposed to be included in a set like this because naturally so, this is an owl post house, so you're gonna have to like ship out a bunch of mail via owl. I mean, I wish I had an owl to ship me my mail. Maybe my stuff would never be late to arrive, especially from Bricklink and other websites. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, because 3 weeks delivery really doesn't cut it. Owls would deliver things almost instantly, so that would be amazing. Please give me this in real life. Of course, we have a bunch of packages on the inside, letters, various boxes, and right here it's pretty much empty. You can just put a minifig there, I guess, but why would you do that? Because it is kind of boring. And at the very top, you just have a stack of packages, and at the top, really nothing much to look at. I guess you could take this letter and just dump it in there, but who would want to do that? Let's be real. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this little section of the set. Very nice to get, and I like it. Do I love it? Not necessarily. Do I appreciate it? Yes, I do. And of course, moving back to the star of the show, we have Weasley's Wizard Wheezes. I love the purple usage here. The purple is my favorite feature of the entire set because lavender is indeed my favorite color. And yeah, turning it on this side right here, we have a look at the interior, which is so colorful and so much fun. There's so much to look at, and I love how it all comes together so incredibly well to make us a very fun, very lighthearted build for Weasley's Wizard Wheezes, especially from the inside. So detail-wise, at the very top, we have this Professor Umbridge dummy, which I think is my favorite part of the entire set because, first of all, we have ourselves a Umbridge face, which is kind of washed out. Now, first off, this Umbridge face looks incredible. Like, the skin tone isn't really Umbridge accurate because it's kind of yellowy, and it's supposed to mimic, and it's supposed to be, and it's not supposed to exactly represent a human-like flesh tone, considering that it's a toy and stuff. So that's so funny to see like a little discrepancy in the color there. So yeah. First up on this side, we have a Puking Pastels box. At the very bottom, we have a little dragon on this tile here. And on this side, we have the Perivian Instant Darkness powder. How spooky. I'm very scared. And we have a table here featuring 2 Pygmy Puffs, which I think is my absolute favorite feature of the set because these little Pygmy Puffs, first of all, aren't stickered, luckily. And they're so cute. They're so adorable. and they fit perfectly right in the center of the second floor. And on this side, we have the sticky trainers signage there with sticky trainers. Who would have thought, just hanging on the wall? And I guess by sticky trainers, they mean like shoes that you can use to walk on walls and stuff. And that sounds so much fun. I mean, count me in. I wish this was real. And on this side, we have the Weasleys Basic Blaze box, the electric shock shake, and this random bottle. So that is very fun there. And if we go down to the bottom here, we have ourselves more details such as the boom box, the fever fudge, this little flying thingy, and a little thingy there as well. I'm just gonna call it a thingy because it quite literally is a thingy. And of course the cash register for the shop here, which I think is cool. It works for what it is. And I do love the purple there, so that's a win. And this little puking pastels advert, which I think is so funny. I mean, look at that. This is hilarious. We have a little girl with orange hair just absolutely losing her mind throwing up with the puking pastel. So that is hilarious in my opinion. So yeah, very, very cool. And honestly, A+ advertising on the Weasleys twins' behalf. And on this side, we have the fainting fancies, which makes you faint. So again, who would have thought? The name kind of gave that away there. And we have some other knickknacks on either side. And of course, the nosebleed nuggets. And just to add more life to the set itself, here are all the minifigs in action. Fred and George, Lavender, Ronald Weasley at the very top there, Romilda Vane just hiding right behind Fred. And yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the set itself. In general, I believe it is a solid 8 out of 10 in my opinion, simply because we've received so many stickers on it and because it's missing the staircase. If both of those were included, it would be a solid 10 out of 10 for me. And in general, it's pretty cool. I like it. I just wish it had more detail on the inside, specifically structure-wise. But the little details and knickknacks and stuff, like the packaging and the little objects and fun little toys, really brings the entire set to life. And on that, let me know in the comments down below your thoughts on this set right here, and if you plan on purchasing it on release day. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye for now.